So good morning friends, and we are here in the series of videos of learning the HTML, designing the HTML static websites, and we have completed five videos, and this is our next video. In this video we are going to learn about how to create forms and how to take the input from the user using the HTML. From this video we will get knowing that our page now behaves as in a dynamic way, uh, but we are developing the front end of the web page, that is by using only the HTML. So we are not aware of the server side language, so we don't know how to manage the data we take from the user. So we need to uh, just develop a web page that looks like accepting the input from the user, and we are not responsible, or we are not trying to do what to do with that received data. We just create a website, a static website, just to take the data. And now I'm here to create a form on my web page. So in order to create a form on the web page, first we need a tag called form for our form, and we need a tag called form. Let me close it. Let me provide some space and inform tag, and there are let me ask for the first name of the user. Type in the first name, and let me give one break here, and the let me add an input field for the first name. The input field, input tag, and the input type attribute for input tag is type. The type we are using here is text field, so the type is text, and we need to provide the name for each and every tag in the form, because in the server side scripting language we are going to receive this data and we are going to process the data in the server side. So we need to distinguish each and every tag we accept the data in the web page. So for this input tag I'm giving a name called f name, uh, some relevant name indicating that it's first name, and I'm closing the tag, and I'm breaking here br, and I'm writing next the last name, and I'm breaking here br, and I'm writing another input type, input type equals sorry text, and name equals lname, and I'm closing it here, and I'm breaking the next line, and I'm giving a submit button. So in order to give submit, we have to write input type equals submit, because we are submitting the data from here. Submit, and name equal to submit. I'm giving the name for this input. For this input I'm giving the name as submit, and I am closing it, and I'm saving the program. I'm saving the web page, and here you can see in my web page I got a first name line break and an input text field, because we have provided here with text and last name and a submit button. So we have written only the front end of the web page. Suppose I'm typing here some team Aaron, and last name some XYZ, and I'm clicking on the submit. You can see somewhere the data has gone, but in the practical case the data will go to the server, but we are not writing the server language here. We're just developing the web page, so we don't need we are not concentrating on where the data goes. We are just designing a site that accepts the data. So this is the way to create a form in the HTML page. So here, suppose you have written a server-side ASP page. Suppose we have server-side languages like PHP, .asp, and Bootstrap, and so many things. So if you have an ASP page, suppose your ASP page is, I mean, the ASP code you written saved under the file name demo.asp. Suppose, for example, I'm saying, then your form input should directly go to that demo.asp. So for that case, we have to specify inside the form tag. Here I'm indicating this is a form tag, and inside that we have to specify the action equals that server page name, that is demo.asp. uh, in this one should be existing in your server, means this saved file should present in order to perform the action for our form. So this is the action, and we have another attribute for the form tag, that is method equals, there are two values, get or post. So these are the method, or this is the way how the data is transmitted. So get is the default one, and post we should specify the post. When we specify the get, our data will be appended in the URL. Suppose in the previous example I have not written anything method, so the default one is get. So here you can see I submitted the name as team Aaron and the L name as XYZ, and it can be clearly seen in the URL of the page. So for security purposes, we should never use the get one. We should always use the post. Now let me save this. Oh, sorry. Let me save here and let me write again. Team Aaron. Let me submit it. You can see it's the URL has changed to demo.asp because the demo.asp we have performed the given the action tab as demo.asp. Once this form is submitted, our browser will go to demo.asp. Since we have not written the server side one, so it is saying your file was not found. But the next thing you should observe is we have written the post method. Because of the post method, we are not able to see the data in the URL. So it is always recommended to use the method equal to post. And one more thing I should say is, let me go back, and suppose if you want to indicate a written, something like this, let me show you. um, Name and placeholder, there is an attribute called placeholder equals uh, example example John. So let me save this. Here you can see in the first name we are going, yes, we are seeing that there is an thin text example John. If you press here, if you type something, it will be erased. So that's called the placeholder attribute. We can see that in many latest websites. You can see that, right? And suppose if you want to fix any value, let me remove this placeholder and let me give a value to the first name, that is team Aaron. Let me save this. You can see if you provide a value, the text will be appearing in the first name. So if you want to fix this value, so it should be read only. When you give this attribute read only, if you save this, your first name will become a constant one, it will not be edited. So this is an attribute for providing the constant value to any text field, that is the read only. So in our forthcoming videos, we will see different ways of generating the forms and lists, and sorry, not list, that is the um, drag and drop, not drag and drop, but sorry, it's called options, picking up the options, and we will see different methods of creating the forms in our forthcoming videos. So stay tuned to our channel and enjoy the HTML.